India is the ultimate neutral country in the new Cold War. They have a foot in both de facto blocs, if you will, both multipolarity and unipolarity. They benefit through their much closer economic relations with Western countries, in this case, India, but also they have their own strategic and very special partnership with Russia, and nevertheless, a complicated but still more or less manageable for now, thank God, relationship with China. I mean, you would not describe India and China as enemies. They're part of BRICS, part of the SCO. They have a complicated bilateral relationship. And to India's credit, it does not allow the U.S. to meddle in that relationship or anybody else. So I think what we see here is instead of a bifurcation or a new bipolarity between the U.S.-led bloc and the Sino-Russo entente, we have what I've written about earlier this week in my Substack that people can read at my Substack or on my social media, including Twitter. We have what I describe as an emerging tri-multipolarity. Tri in the sense we have a tripolar characteristic of the U.S.-led bloc, Golden Billion, Sino-Russo entente, and this de facto Indian-led Global South. And why I say de facto Indian-led, we shouldn't forget the virtual Voice of Global South summit that India hosted in January. That was a major move in the direction of a new non-aligned movement, or a neo-NAM, which would be truly independent, unlike the previous NAM, which was pretty much a plaything of the superpowers, unfortunately. It was very difficult to maintain true independence and sovereignty in those conditions. But India is trying to really take the neutral ground here and become the rallying point around which these other countries can assemble. I mean, after all, India's economic potential, it's amazing. I mean, India is already the 5th largest economy in the world. It's slated to be the 3rd largest by the end of the decade at the latest. It might actually become sooner. And India is trying to show that there is a neutral middle way. And this puts India in a very unique position where, by the way that fate had destined it, India happens to be chairing the G20 at this unique moment in international relations.